After a wild run with the sprint cars earlier on this week, it's time for the super late models to hit the track for the American Dirt Series here on RaceSpotTV, sponsored by CMF Motors Electrics. It's time for the American Dirt Series Late Model Series, live from beautiful Volusia Speedway Park once again from Barberville, Florida. Once again, also brought to you by Dirtco Media House and Down Under Graphics, along with the Kings of Dirt, the Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Showrunner Forestry, and B-Dirt 1934. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me is Davis Richards, and in the backdrop, once again, helping us keep things together is Hugo Louise, as we're just a few moments away from the start of some wild action tonight with these late models on this tight half-mile dirt circuit. Davis, what are your quick thoughts about tonight's race, especially with how things are going in terms of the season?
Hey, it's going to be a wild race, and that's for sure. If it's anything like we've seen last Monday, then these fans out here are in for a treat. We've got some really bad, fast drivers out there, and they've got some wicked loose cars tonight out at Volusia. So get ready to see some door-to-door action tonight as they're under qualifying right now.
Under qualifying, indeed. You hear as the cars are zooming around the backdrop, you see some of the qualifying times up on your screen, and it's been a strong start for some drivers in the points right now. On your screen, you are seeing, I believe that is, yes, in fact, it is Brandon Peterson trying to put in a good time. He is currently third on the board using the bottom side, and he's just going to put it to a stop here, as I think it was just trying to get some extra practice laps in. But Tyler Ducharme is currently on the track, still putting in his second lap time, zooming around turns 1 and 2, as he is going to try and use that bottom, because with the shelf here at Volusia, you do have a tendency to lose some speed. You see Ducharme coming around the racetrack and still sticking in third here, Davis.
Yeah, Tyler Ducharme out there. He's one of the newcomers here to the ADS series, and hey, he's got a really bad fast car. He's sitting in third right now with a 15.966. And then we got Alex Bergeron sitting in second as of now with a 15.932. And then Philip Neitz, he's got the pole right now with a 15.872. Will it hold? I'm not sure, but he's definitely showing these drivers that he's coming out here and he's for real, and he can take it with the best of them.
And you see some more drivers putting in some quick times right now. Cody Olson on your screen. The privateer machine going to dive right towards the middle line, a bit more away from the bottom for his first lap. Let's see where he's at the board, a 15.976. That puts him up in the top 5.
Yeah, top 5 indeed. And like I said, I think we're going to see a lot of crazy action here tonight. These cars have got to be really careful, especially coming out of that outside wall onto 2. The backstretch wall tends to stick out, and if you're not careful, you can really get in a bad situation there and go end over end. So that's something we're going to have to pay attention to. And I think the drivers are going to be using a lot of that low line for most of the night, but later on into that A main, that high line may come into play, especially with iRacing's new build. They've really upgraded that cushion on that high side, and it'll be really interesting to see if it develops and how it develops, and see if who's the first taker to go around that cushion.
We're gonna see who is one of those takers, but right now we got 9 cars ready for the first heat. It's Philip Neitz starting alongside Tyler Ducharme. Cody Olson and John Littoral will start in the top 4. Dan Smulders and Greg Thompson start off behind them. Connor Perez right now along with Scott Bellum. Riley Wyans rounds out your 9-card field for the heat. Who do you got here at this track for tonight for this first heat?
Hey, you know, it's kind of hard to go against that number 38 machine of Philip Neitz, but then again, you know, Tyler Ducharme, we talked about him earlier, and that number 25 machine is one of the newcomers here. He's got something to prove. He wants to show all these drivers out here that, hey, I'm here for real and I can compete with the best of them. So either way, it's going to be really interesting to watch, but definitely watch that 38 machine, see if he's able to get to a clean restart and see what he's able to do.
For tonight, these heats will be 8-lap heats. 7 will advance onto the feature. Of course, after the 2 heats that are scheduled for tonight, there is a consolation race of 10 laps or 11 minutes, where only one of those drivers will end up in the end moving on to the main feature. But right now, you see everyone getting all set to go. About 1 lap to go here on these pace laps. What are your thoughts on how the changes the new build has brought upon the iRacing service for the dirt side?
Hey, I haven't gotten that much time to play around with it, but I have done a few laps around Charlotte and Lima Land, and it's been interesting to say the least. Those cars can really slick out from under you and really catch you in a bind if you're not careful, but they've made these late models as realistic as possible. They have done a huge job in upgrading them, and I can't congratulate iRacing enough.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that, and especially bring on 2 tracks on as well. The dirt track at Charlotte and Lima Land, both of those tracks you should expect to see for the American Dirt Series. But right now, the focus is on at Volusia, as Phil Knies gets a great start off for the first heat. He's going to try and set the tempo early on the bottom side, sliding right on behind Tyler Ducharme. He's being pushed towards the higher side as Cody Olsen will go for the pass. He'll go side by side, battling for second spot. Olsen's going to make it stick. He's got himself in the second.
That number 25 machine got the wall a little bit. It's not going to affect him too bad. Now you're looking at the number 313 machine of Greg Thompson. He's right behind the 25.
Pardon me for almost cutting you off. In fact, having to cut you off because Scott Bellum had hit the wall behind some of these drivers and lost a lot of time, a ton of damage on the right side, and that was one of the main notes from the sprint car side. Turn number 2. A dangerous area for sure here at this racetrack, as we have about 4 laps to go in this heat.
Yeah, 4 laps to go indeed. We still got that number 38 machine up top and up front. He's taking no prisoners. He's out there, got about a 0.3 second lead. Cody Olsen sitting in second with that number 5 machine. See if he's got anything for the leader. I think he's just going to mind his time, continue to try to search around, see which line's fastest that can help him in that A main. Not going to try anything too crazy here. He just wants to advance to that A main and call it a heat race.
Yeah, everyone trying to focus on keeping a clean heat together here. 2 laps to go in this heat. Pardon me, 3 laps to go, as they are still side by side, though, battling for just above the bubble spot. That is Connor Parise battling right now with Dan Smulders, as they were side by sides. But still, Parise, he doesn't want to give this up. He's trying to slide towards the bottom here. Coming towards 1 to go this time by. That is the battle for 6. But right now up in front, Philip Knies. He had good times in practice. Had a good consistent line set up and is still setting that up here in the first heat. He's going to try and go and complete 2 more turns in a consistent way. He bounces a little bit through the middle of the apex for the slide, but he takes the heat win to start off the night here at Volusia.
Yeah, awesome job there by Philip. That number 38 machine. Second place, Cody Olsen with and in third place is going to be Tyler Ducharme. So I've seen a lot of drivers out there using that low line. Didn't see him even try to touch that high line or try to touch that cushion. So I'm really interested to see if that'll come into play later tonight.
Yeah, I think it definitely will come into play, because I was discussing this with some drivers that were part of the American Dirt Series, as well as some others in race control, where they mentioned it will be tough to pass at this track with the different setups for the lines for turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4, as well as that aforementioned shelf alongside the cushion. But right now for these guys in heat number 2, including guys like Alex Bergeron, Brendan Peterson, Terry Rennert, Zach Leon Hardy, Todd LeBeau, Corey Heim, Brad Dyer, it's going to be a competitive heat for sure before we go to the consolation.
Yeah, it really is, and you really got to love that guy starting in the 9th place. He's had a fast car all night long, so we're going to be able to see if he can make something of that night. But no, we got some really fast drivers, including Alex Bergeron and Terry Rennert. Terry Rennert didn't have the best of races that he wanted to have Monday night. I've seen he had a lot of speed, just couldn't put it together. So I think he's going to be coming out here with a vengeance and showing these drivers that he's for real. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of him later on tonight.
Yeah, some people call him an alien. To him, he feels the nickname The Nerd sometimes fits the best, but right now he's going to have to work his way from 3rd. He is coming into tonight, as you've seen on the graphic, in the top 5 in points for these late models, as they have a lap and a half around right now. What should you do, I should say, if you're a driver right now currently trying to battle their way to make sure they get the best starting position possible for the A main?
I just got to bide your time and just, you know, you want to try to stay out of that hornet nest. We talked so much about that Monday night, and really, that hornet's nest was horrible. But hey, these are different animals with these late models out here tonight. They can do some beating and banging. They can hit the wall and bounce off and still keep going and chugging along. So these cars, they're really strong, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that racing here tonight at Volusia.
I think so too. A lot of intense actions all set to go here. This is the second and final heat getting all set to go. 7 drivers all getting lined up. All these drivers are locked into the feature, but right now it's about getting the best positions possible for the A main. They're underway as they zoom their way to a great start for Brandon Peterson. He's going to go side by side as Alex Bergeron goes for the slide on the bottom side. They're still side by side. It's going to be tough for the 83 to make this stick in Peterson. He's going to lose momentum. In fact, he's going to just about lose 2 spots as Terry Renner is going to go for second. Can he make it stick? Almost comes off the front nose of the 24 machine right on behind him. And that is the points leader in Leon Hardy. But a good start as Leon Hardy is going to get the perfect spot to hang on the bottom side and battle for third spot.
Yeah, you see that 83 machine up there, that's Brandon Peterson. He's trying to get that high line going. I just don't think there's enough wear on the track, and he's actually going to make contact with the number 94 machine of Todd LeBouf. So you can tell he's a little bit aggravated under that helmet. That machine wanted to get to the low side, wasn't able to, kept trying to use that high side, but still, I'm thinking that high side's just going to have to come more into play later on tonight. There's just not enough wear on that track, and these drivers haven't put enough laps on it to really develop that cushion and make that high side something to work with.
Yeah, right now you can see that battling around the top 5, just about 2 and 3 wide in fact, as the number 94 of LeBouf tries to work his way. You see Dyer having to back off a little bit as they go back to single file. Meanwhile, the battle is on up at the front. Coming towards 3 laps to go, coming towards 2. Terry Renner. He's trying to work towards more of the middle line as Alex Bergeron still sticks as close as he can to the wall. Alex Bergeron, he's going to move his line up to this corner as Terry Renner goes for the lower slide. As they try and get the best momentum possible. It's going to come down to these 6 turns for heat number 2. Renner closes up about a 10th. You see him trying to wheel his way around on the last lap, having to turn it directly to the right to try and go straight, as he's going to lose momentum off of turn 2. But for Alex Bergeron, he is going to have a perfect exit out of turn 4 and seal himself for heat number 2's victory tonight for Victory Lane Racing, right in front of Terry Renner.
Yeah, we see Alex Bergeron taking the win right there. Second is Terry Renner, the number 02 machine. Third, we got Zach Leon Hardy. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. Fourth, we got Brandon Peterson. Fifth, Todd LeBouf. Sixth, Corey Ham. 7, Brian Dyer. 8, Jason Minette. And look at that. 9th place, Davis Richards.
Yeah, finishing off 9th. Of course, we do have a server change coming up right here because, of course, we are using the beta UI for iRacing tonight. As this is going on right now and you see the track, let me ask you this. What is your impressions on what we've seen with the action tonight? And what do you think the main notes people are taking for these late models for the Constellation and the A main tonight?
Hey, you better get those things tuned up for that low side because not sure if that high side is really going to come into play. I mean, again, we're going to have to see how much practice those drivers get on it when they do make the server switch and if they can really slicking that track off. But if not, that low side is going to be where to go. You're really going to want to adjust your setup to that groove of the racetrack. So it's going to be interesting nonetheless to watch. We've got a lot of fast drivers here, including Alex Bergeron, Tyler Deschamps, Cody Olsen, Terry Renner. We've talked about him week in and week out, and there's just a handful. Every single one of these drivers has a chance to win here tonight in that A main.
Yeah, right now as everything gets all set to go, we'll take a quick commercial break here on RaceSpotTV. You're watching the American Dirt Series and the late models presented by CMF Motors Electrics, live from Volusia. We'll be back in just a moment.
Crazy control. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
And welcome back, everyone, to the American Dirt Series for the late model, sponsored by CMF Motors Electrics. As we get all set to go for the Trophy Dash, as well as the rest of our event schedule for tonight. But right now, it has been an entertaining start and a quick start. We're off on a track meet, so to speak. But right now, we're getting all set to go to prep you up for the Trophy Dash. Why don't we get you to your interviews to start off? Let's bring in to start off the alien to some, Terry Renner, to start us off for the interviews before we get to the Trophy Dash and the rest of our schedule. Now joining us in the booth right now is Terry Renner. Terry, can you hear us?
Yeah, 10-4.
Perfect. How are you feeling about the race tonight right now with your late model?
A lot better than I thought I would. You know, I was messing with the setups. They changed a lot with this update. Everything was high in the setup, so I didn't know if I could get it where it needed to be, but I didn't even know what the back of Alex's car looked like till tonight, so I guess the setup came out pretty good.
What would you say the differences are between the last build and this build? Because as Davis described it, he felt it was more realistic, so to speak. How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, as best as I know realistic, which some guys know a lot better, it just seems smoother. Not so much the track, just the car. It doesn't seem as herky-jerky. It seems to respond more to what you're doing.
Now, of course, with this race tonight, how do you plan to position yourself to be in the best place to come away with a victory tonight?
Just have a nice, clean start. I've had a lot of really bad luck lately, a lot of my own doing. So, you know, I came in tonight saying, just finish this race, get some points, and get out of here. But, you know, I had some pretty good speed early, so just try to stay clean. It's a really long race and do what I got to do.
All right, we'll see what you can do. By the way, the Trophy Dash will be 10 laps. The main, 60. Good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
That was Terry Rennert with us here. Now with Davis Richards is the newcomer to the field for tonight, who's had a strong impression to start off a bit, Tyler Ducharme. Davis?
Hey Tyler, this is Davis Richards up here in the RaceSpotTV booth. Man, one of the newcomers out here tonight, got second place in your heat. Just take us through that heat race. How do you feel you stack up against this tough competition here tonight?
It'll be interesting to see how we do. Trying to dial the setup in a little bit better. We're a little free out there, so hopefully we can snug her up a little bit here for the feature and go get us the W.
Now, as you're aware, we do have a new build out there tonight. I don't know how much you've gotten to play around with it. I know you just got done with another league race here tonight. How much has that cushion impacted it, and do you think it's going to come more into play as the night goes further, or do you think we're just not good enough cars out there to really slicken it off and to be able to utilize that cushion?
It shouldn't take a whole lot, but I think after this warm up where we're gonna have, I think you'll see a little bit, but I don't know if you're going to see it used a whole lot tonight. Volusia before the build, I mean, it was really kind of just hug the rail. But, I mean, we might see a couple guys go up there and test it. I mean, I might, using this kind of as a test and tune to see what we got for the Pro Series. So, should be interesting, should be fun. Hopefully we can go out there and send it and get a W.
Hey, we'll just go out there and send it, 'cause ain't nothing better than that, man. Well, hey, we'll be rooting for you up here in the RaceSpotTV booth, and best of luck to you.
All right, 10-4, buddy.
And that was Tyler Ducharme, who will be starting 5th in the trophy dash for tonight. And guess who's on the pole? The prior person we were speaking with as well, Terry Rennert.
Yeah, Terry Rennert is on the pole there, as people like to call him in the chat. He is an alien, so definitely someone to watch.
Definitely somebody to watch indeed right now, as we will give you a quick commercial break here to prep you up for the Trophy Dash and for the B-Main. We'll be right back in just a few moments here for the American Dirt Series Late Models presented by CMF Motors Electriques, live on RaceSpotTV. Welcome back to the American Dirt Series Late Models, sponsored by CMF Motors Electrics, the official sponsor title of the Late Models Series, along with Dirtco Media House and Down Under Graphics, along with the Kings of Dirt, Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Sherrill Forestry, and B-Dirt 1934. Everyone's getting all set to go and lined up across the racetrack here at Volusia Speedway Park here in Barberville, Florida, as they get all set to go. All the drivers are getting set to go for the Trophy Dash along with the B-Main. I'm Justin Brits alongside Mace Davis, Richards, and right now, what are your thoughts right now coming into things right now as they prepare to line things up for the first of the two races coming up to the main?
I'm really excited to see some drivers go out there and race. I think we're going to have a lot of close action racing out there tonight, especially in this Trophy Dash. These drivers are going to be going all out to the wall and doing every single thing they can.
And that's for sure. It is time for the B-Main as they pull onto the racetrack. It's time to get lined up for the 10 cars who are looking to move themselves up to the field. It will be Greg Thompson on the front row with Brandon Peterson. John Literal and Todd LeBeau will be followed by Dan Smulders and Corey Heem. Connor Perez, followed by Brad Dyer, Scott Bellum, and Riley Wines will round out the field. 10 drivers will be in this B-Main.
Yeah, they will. And we've got some really heavy hitties. I can't talk again. Guess I picked that one up from last week, but looking forward to a lot of close action racing tonight, especially in this B-Main. You know, some drivers out there really want to go out there and see what they can do and show these viewers how fast they are.
Yeah, that is for sure right now. You see them getting all prepared and lined up across the racetrack as they try and punch their tickets into the A-Main, their for sure tickets. Of course, you already have 6 drivers already locked in via the Trophy Dash. And Terry Rennert, Cody Olson, Alex Bergeron, Phil Neese, Tower Ducharme, and Zach Leonhardi as they continue to work their way around the racetrack. The official total right now is 10 laps for this B-Main. Everyone will advance, but, and here's the mighty but, they got to make sure they get a good finish, of course, to get themselves in a decent place to start for the A-Main tonight.
Yeah, they do indeed, as I believe this is going to be the last time they're going to go around under this caution flag, and then once they get into turn 4, they're going to send these late models throttled to the floor and getting every single bit of traction they get on that start, and then send them 2 to 3 wide into turn 1.
And here we go. They're off and away as Greg Thompson kicks them off. Gets a great start and gets a great line. He's going to pull away immediately from the Hornet's Nest, developing for third on as someone hit the wall. The 83 in Peterson as they are already bumping and banging, coming out onto the front stretch. But Thompson, he's just going to pull away and sail away.
Yeah, he is. That 94 Todd LeBeau. He started out front, just can't get a real good grip on that car, and he's all over the place. He's got a really ill-handling car, but I'll take you back to that middle of the field with that number 78 machine. He's leading a vicious pack of drivers behind him with the number 35 machine and the number...
Hold on 1 second. Pardon me for cutting you off. John Literal, he's done for the B-Main because he got caught up into the fence in turns 3 and 4. We got an error car sideways meanwhile, as you have a bunch of action going on. Brandon Peterson has just went around. You see the replay where you had Literal stuck in the wall. Now you have Peterson way out in the back of the field as the caution flag has been brought out across the racetrack.
Yeah, it has been. We have a caution out tonight on the racetrack. We're going to watch the RaceSpotTV replay right here. You see that number 83 machine. He's low on the bottom, and then he's just going to turn it around. I'm not really sure what happened there. I don't know if he had a little bit of help by the number 11 machine, or if he just got a really bad angle going into the corner. As we're going to watch it here again. You see him going in, and he had a little help there by the number 11 machine of Connor Perez. So a tough break for that number 83 of Brandon Peterson, but he's still out in the field, so he can still salvage this out and make a good starting position for that A-Main.
Yeah, that is for sure. Right now, they're doubling up right now. There is still a few laps to go here in this B-Main, as you got to remember, too, one of the main things, the way the suspension setup was, it has and I quote this from speaking with Jason Myatt, for example, that they were designed to bite when turning right, to just be basically designed to go sideways exactly the way they've been going. So they got to make sure they don't turn too much, so to speak, to where it ends up bobbling their car out. Right now, though, they get lined up. A few laps to go here in this B main as Thompson once against the control car. He starts with Corey Heim to his right as they are back off and racing. Already 3 wide, battling for second. Back to 2 wide, 2 deep. As Brad Dyer is one of the lead cars on that bottom side. He's trying to get the perfect exit on Dan Smulders. Smulders, though, he has a good run alongside that cushion as he's going to hang on to 3rd spot. Dyer's right behind him. LeBeau right behind him in the top 5. Riley Wyans will round out the 6 cars in that main pack.
Yeah, he will. You see him start to really single file up there, trying to figure out the track, figure out which one they can use, figure out which one they can't. You see that number 11 machine, or I'm sorry, not the number 11, that number 94 machine of Todd LeBeau, really using that low side, getting that front left tire right against that inside wall, trying everything he can do to make that car work. And I'm not really seeing a lot of drivers go up right next to the wall as I thought I would see. So definitely something to keep an eye on as we're about to have a battle for second here.
Yeah, with a few laps to go here in this B main, everyone trying to get the best finishes they can right now across the racetrack. You're looking at the battle right now around this track. They zoom through turns 3 and 4 right now. The 78 trying to get a great run on Thompson. Thompson still leads out in front as he is trying to secure himself for this B main victory. Coming to about 1 to 2 to go across the track. Thompson getting the best exit he can. Corey Heim still trying to dig as much as he can towards the bottom. Is it enough? We'll have to see, because I believe we're right out that last lap. Right behind him, Dan Smulders. He's trying to get as fast as he can alongside the shelf. Is it enough, though? Thompson crosses the line out in front. Heim in second, Dan Smulders in third, with Brad Dyer coming out in fourth. Rounding out the top 5, Todd LeBeau, as that was a competitive race. Very close for Thompson to hold on up at the front for this B main.
Close race indeed. We've seen a lot of close action racing there, and hey, you're in for a treat in that A main, because that was just the B main. So these drivers are really going to be going for it later here tonight at Volusia. Seen some little bit of surprises out there. That 313 machine of Greg Thompson did pick up that B main victory. Haven't talked about him a lot, so definitely going to be one of those to watch.
Yeah, especially when a guy comes in second in the points. In fact, he joins us now from his car in the RaceSpotTV booth. Greg, how are you feeling right now about the car here for tonight?
Yeah, guys, how's it going? Feeling pretty good. I'm not real good when the track's, real tacky like it was in the heats. Tend to be better when it's slicked off like this. So the car felt really good. Kind of played with it a little bit to see what I could do come to feature. But I think I might have something for him. We'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll have to see, that's for sure. But we've been asking this to everybody right now because there was the new build that came out this week. How do you feel about how the car handles with the new build compared to the last build for the late models?
I don't know. To me, it seems like a little bit looser. I'm still playing with the throttle a little bit to see where I'm going to like it. I feel like that's a little bit different as well, but still got her hooked up, it feels like. So go out here and see what we can do with this.
Now, what's your strategy for the A main once it gets going? Of course, it's about 60 laps tonight, and you already have some of your competitors asking about fuel. What's your strategy?
I'm going to keep it a little bit heavy, I think.
Keep it a little bit heavy, not give away anything else, much else. Thank you very much for the time, Greg, and congratulations on the B main victory.
All right, thanks, guys. Have fun watching.
That was Greg Thompson, who is currently second in the American Dirt Series late models point standings. And now with that, It's time to get lined up for the Trophy Dash in a few moments here, Davis. What do you think we should expect to see now with the Trophy Dash, especially now this dirt is starting to really slick up a little bit more? You've seen a few different drivers trying to top. What should we expect now for the Trophy Dash?
I honestly think we're probably going to see about the same thing. You know, again, a lot of close quarter action racing out there. Maybe we'll see some drivers use that top lane even more. You know, I'm thinking a lot of these drivers are just really scared to get up on that top lane. Like we've talked about, it's a new build, so no one wants to be that first person to go there, because if it doesn't work, it could be very detrimental and really mess them up for that A main. So. But then again, it is the Trophy Dash, so if you're going to try something new, now's the time to try it to see how it works. So going to keep watching. I hope they start to use that cushion. I really want to see how it works out in the long run. And watching those drivers go around on that high side right against that wall, I call it Kyle Larson in it. It's really fun to watch and really puts on a show for these fans.
Yeah, that is for sure. But right now, it's time for the Trophy Dash meanwhile as well. 6 drivers will go around for approximately 10 laps across the racetrack for this Trophy Dash. The invert number was 4 for tonight, meaning Phil Neese will start off in 4th. Then you have in the front row with that invert, Terry Rennert and Cody Olsen, both of them having fast machines. Alex Bergeron and Phil Neese, as mentioned, are in row number 2. Tyler Ducharme, who is a newcomer to the series, making his debut tonight, he's going to have to move his way from 5th. Meanwhile, Zach Leonhardi, the points leader, will try and go from the shotgun spot in 6th.
Yeah, Tyler Ducharme starting that 5th position. As some may know, he's a really aggressive driver, but hey, he's really fast out there too. So keep an eye on him, see if he's able to come out through this field, because I think he will be. But hey, this ain't no cupcake walk. He's got that number 12 of Alex Bergeron right in front of him, and as we all are well aware of, Alex Bergeron, he's one of those top hitters. Look, I said hitters right in these dirt tracks, and we are green flag racing out there tonight.
All of them hit the gas pedals as Terry Rennert, he's going to get help and bumped on a big stack up in turn 2. Just about everyone involved as Cody Olsen is still stopped. The caution flag is out. They're going to have to restack him up, as that was a little bit chaotic to start off the first turn. Why don't we check out the replay to see what happened? And you can see right there, close action.
Yeah, that number 5 machine of Cody Olsen just looks like he just really underestimates that corner and gets into that number 02 machine of Terry Rennert. So unfortunate circumstances for him right there. I just really don't think he expected the 02 to back off as quick as he did. But look at that one driver making it through all that mess. Yeah, that's right. That's that number 12 of Alex Bergeron. So we've seen the luck out of him from Monday, taking that win away. So he's got some luck out there, and he knows what to do, and very fortunate in that series of wrecks.
Very fortunate indeed for those who do not follow the sprint cars side of the American Dirt Series. He did come away with a victory after close action up in front between 2 different drivers for the win, eventually taking advantage of the mistake using the high line cushion and riding his way to the victory. Those 2 drivers battling up at the front finished 2nd and 3rd as we got 1 lap to go here on this restart. Have to ask this as well. How do you feel the damage on a lot of these cars is going to impact them for the rest of this Trophy Dash?
Hey, like we've said before, these late model cars, these super late models, they can take some damage. They can keep on chugging. I know I've slammed one or two of them in a wall and just kept on moving. And these drivers, they will get their spot back, but when that caution flag flew. So fortunate circumstances for that 02 of Terry Rennert.
Yeah, and Terry Rennert, he gets a decent restart. Alex Bergeron saying go, 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 as he's going to go up towards the high side down the backstretch. They're going to ride along the cushion. Bergeron sticks to the bottom. Philip Neese, he's going to try and make that cushion work as well. He's side by side, though, with Bergeron. About 8 laps to go here in the Trophy Dash as they still battle up at the front. 2 wide as Alex Bergeron digs his way to the bottom, goes for the slide job, makes it work on Terry Rennert, and they're bumping and banging on turn 4. 3 different drivers involved, 4 different drivers involved. Caution flag is going to be out. as that is going to basically cause a ton of damage for drivers like Tyler Ducharme.
Yeah, as we're going to take a look at that RaceSpotTV replay booth right there, riding along with that number 25 machine of Tyler Ducharme, and you can see right in front of him, ooh, just hits another car, nowhere to go, gets sent up on his side of his car, but he's able to keep that car going. So he's not out of this thing quite yet, but you see the number 12 of Alex Bergeron. He pulls the slide job on the 02 of Terry Renner, and Terry Renner nowhere to go for him, and ends up getting into that number 42 machine of Philip Neese. So really nowhere to go for the 02 of Terry Renner. Not really his fault, and the 12 of Alex Bergeron, see him again, just pulling the slide job off. So that's just close quarter aggressive racing, and really no one to blame out of that one, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's just what you call a racing deal. And sometimes I feel like Alex Bergeron has a lucky horseshoe or a bunch of four-leaf clovers in his car with some of the stuff he's been able to avoid and get himself up to the front. Many times coming with the victories from what we've seen so far this year in the American Dirt Series. So he is going to be up at the front now. Zach Leonhardi will be behind him. Cody Olsen now in third. Tyler Ducharme in fourth. Philip Neese behind him. Terry Renner will run shotgun on the field as they stay towards the high line cushion, as we'll see what they do right here. Alex Bergeron going to lead them around for one more time, I believe, for the pace laps here before we get back underway here, Davis.
Yeah, get back away here indeed. And I've just noticed something. I keep saying yeah a lot the first of my sentence. Hey, that's something I'm going to need to work on here. But just like some of these drivers are going to need to work on, try to really slicking off that track and try to make that high side work and get the momentum on it down the back stretch. So that number 24 machine of Zach Leonhardi is going to start on the outside. Now, I started to say outside row, but I think they're going to choose to use a single file restart here.
I believe so too. We've seen this many times in the American Dirt Series after situations a few times in a row. Right now, you already see Leonhardi trying to poke his way towards the bottom. Restart is underway as Bergeron gets a good jump and pulls away a bit. He's still on the bottom side, but Leonhardi, he has some strong momentum from the middle lane. He's going to try and ride along the cushion. This has been something that's worked very well off the restarts as he's trying to keep up with Bergeron, but those two have been able to pull away from the Hornet's Nest, forming up for third on back.
And in the back of the field, we almost had three wide action there. You're seeing the lead right there, that backpack, the number 25 Tyler Ducharme, 02 and the number 42 Machina, almost taking three wide down the middle, decides not to. And you see a little bit of contact right there between the number 42 of Philip Neese and the 02 of Terry Renner. So I really got to think that these drivers are having a hard time handling these cars. Got to think it might be that damage affecting them right there. But hey, we're about to have a battle for the lead with the number 12 of Alex Bergeron and the number 24 machine of Zach Leonhardi.
Apologies for breaking up your momentum there for the split second. But right now, Zach Leonhardi, he's got some great momentum. He's got a couple laps to get the pass here for the trophy dash. Bergeron still sticking up in front of Leonhardi. Will he dive it in? No, he's going to move towards the middle alongside the cushion, as it's going to be Bergeron sticking to the bottom side. It's going to be a close battle for the finish here in the trophy dash. Bergeron goes for the slide jump with the cross. Leonhardi moves to the bottom with the crossover. Can he make it stick for the slide? They're going to go side by side. Leonhardi doesn't get good momentum, does for the exit. Bergeron sticks up on the high side. They're still side by side. This is going to be for the trophy dash right here. As Leonhardi almost makes contact. Still sliding on the bottom. He's had the stronger exits. Can he get a strong enough exit to get to Bergeron? This time, not this time by. But Bergeron still sliding his way up from the bottom all the way to the top side. As we have maybe 2 laps to go here in the trophy dash. Leonhardi, though, loses a ton of momentum right behind Bergeron. That's going to be a lost amount of time. Could not dig it enough. And it's going to be Alex Bergeron coming away with a trophy dash victory, as Leonhardi couldn't make the momentum stick on the time he needed it to.
I've seen Alex Bergeron was using that high side and was able to gain all that momentum on the backstretch and was really able to overtake the 24 Zach. And then once Alex Bergeron went to that low side, seen the 24 go to the top side, and the 24 wasn't able to make that high side work like we seen the 12 of Alex Bergeron. So that's something to take note of here tonight as we get into the A main. I mean, really, I think the high side is really starting to come into play along with that cushion, but it just depends what kind of setup you have under that machine if you can pull it off.
Yeah, that is for sure. Now join us in the booth right from the racetrack on RaceSpotTV, Alex Bergeron. Alex, how are you feeling after what was a very close battle for the finish of the Trophy Dash?
And that was exciting. Good race with Zach there, and door to door, and that was fun. So looking forward for the future for sure.
Yeah, talk us through what was going through your head as the Trophy Dash was going on, and what kind of mental notes you were taking to get yourself ready for the A main.
Well, I mean, we started on the inside, second row, and we've done a slide jump in turn 3 and 4. That was close, but we made it through, and that was pretty good. I mean, the racing was clean and everything. So looking forward to the feature, like I said. So there's not a lot of stuff going in my mind right now. It's just a normal race, and we'll get her done.
Yeah, we'll see if you can get her done. One last question, though, before we let you get to the racetrack for the A main. There, of course, was the new build that came out this week. We've been asking everyone about their opinions on this. What is your opinions on the new build compared to the old one?
It's so awesome. I mean, the cushion is very fun. You can run the top now, and I don't know if we'll be able to run the top tonight, but Charlotte and Limelin is where you can basically run the top and be very fast. So it's very exciting. It's make good racing. I don't know if they're gonna make maybe a patch, or I don't know, to get the grip. I mean, change for the top, because the top is like super fast rather than the bottom. So it's like, I think like a second, maybe like half a second faster on the top. So it's kind of crazy, but it makes for good racing. So like I said, it's very fun. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving that opinion. We'll let you get ready now for the A main. Alex Bergeron, your winner of the Trophy Dash tonight here at Volusia Speedway Park.
Alex Bergeron, always fast out there. But hey, let us know in the chat. We got a lot of people watching out there. Let us know who you think's gonna win tonight. And if you were watching again last night, you saw me and Randy give the broadcaster's curse. We were 3 for 3 out of there. So let's kind of hope for some better luck and hope we can get some fan viewers good luck going on our side. So tell us who you think's gonna win out there, and we're gonna be paying close attention to them as well.
I'm pretty sure you also had that similar curse during the Sprint Cars race earlier this week. We'll see if that sticks around when we come back here on RaceSpotTV for more coverage of the American Dirt Series late models. We'll be back in just a few moments. It'll be the A main 60 laps around the Volusia Speedway Park. Up next, here on RaceSpotTV.
Crazy control. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Welcome back, everyone, to Volusia Speedway Park from Barberville, Florida, as we're getting all set to go for the A main for the American Dirt Series late models, presented by CMF Motors Electrics, along with Durco Media House, Down Under Graphics, the Kings of Dirt, Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Sherrill Forestry, and B Dirt 1934. Everything's been leading all up to this. It's time for the main feature event. 60 laps of racing around the racetrack as they get all set to go for what should be a very competitive split and very competitive main for tonight. That is for sure. I'm Justin Prince alongside Ms. Davis Richards if you're just joining us. Also in the backdrop helping us with all of our broadcasts throughout the season is Hugo Louise. It's going to be, of course, on this half-mile circuit. It's a cool 65 degrees for the A main as they get all lined up. It'll be 5 laps of pace laps. But if you're just tuning in, here is what we've been seeing so far here on this circuit. You have been seeing some very competitive heats after 2 heat races, a competitive B main, and as well, a close finish for the Trophy Dash. Now, Alex Bergeron, who came away with the Trophy Dash victory, will be on the front row for tonight's race. He'll be starting alongside Cody Olsen. Zach Leon Hardy and Dan Smulders will fall right on behind with Tyler Ducharme starting off in the 5th spot. Terry Renner will be in 6th, with everyone else gritting up right on behind. That includes Greg Thompson up in the top 10, Todd LeBeau, Philip Neese up there, Brandon Peterson looking to rebound from his struggles, along with Corey Heem, along with Riley Wyans, Scott Bellum, and Connor Parise at the shotgun position for what should be an entertaining A main here on RaceSpotTV. Now you can see everyone getting all prepared across the racetrack right now. You've heard what we've been hearing from the interviews. You heard what Alex Bergeron said. You've heard what everyone's opinions about the new build is right now. What is your opinions now? What we should expect to see as they get prepared to line up here, Davis?
I'm still going to think we're going to see some drivers start to use that high line. I think these drivers are taking notes of what that number 12 machine of Alex Bergeron was doing and how big of a run he was able to do. So now that they've got those steps adjusted to their locking, I can see a lot more drivers run against that wall. But then I talked about it earlier in the show. Got to watch out for that backstretch wall coming out of turn 2 because you have a bit of a dip there. And if you're not careful, you're going to hit those tires that you see on your screen right now to the right of the drivers. And it's going to send you flying.
Yeah, for those who missed part of the heats, one driver actually did do that and finished off their heat fairly early right now. We got about 2 more laps of pace laps right now. What is the strategy for the drivers right now in the back of the field? You have, for example, drivers trying to rebound like Brandon Peterson right now, the Riley Wyans of the field, Todd LeBeau. What do you do if you're these kind of drivers way deep, right at the Hornet's Nest?
Riley Wyans, the number 07 machine. He's one of the newcomers out there tonight, so he doesn't really know how these drivers race. I know he really hasn't had much experience around them, so I think he's just going to bide his time, see what they do, note some of their strategies they're using, and you just got to, you need a lot of luck out there to get through that Hornet's Nest, but if you have enough skill, you'll be able to do it. So personally, as a driver, I would just kind of stay back, kind of watch what the drivers are doing, and then once they start to clear out, then make my move, go to the front, because you got to have a clean race car to be able to win the thing once it's all said and over with.
Completely agree with you. We got one more time to go around right now. Who is your favorite right now, and what is their strategy to get to the victory lane right on the front stretch?
Yeah, my favorite's got to be, I don't know, you know what, I'll do it. I'll make the broadcaster. Hopefully it doesn't happen. We've seen the broadcasters curse happen again and again. But, if I had to pick a driver and you put a gun to my head, man, I'm really liking that number 24 machine as Zach Leon Hardy.
Of course, Leon Hardy is the points leader, so very healthy choice, especially on the outside after a very close battle between him for the trophy dash. We're underway now for the A main. It's 60 laps here at Volusia. As Alex Bergeron, he's going to get a good start. Right on behind him, Zach Lee and Hardy also getting a great start. Cody Olsen breaks his way out of the pack for third spot to start off. But Lee and Hardy, he's going to challenge for the lead immediately. He's side by side with Bergeron down the front stretch. And we got a caution down the front stretch. Going around the track, it's Dan Smulders.
Dan Smulders, that number 35 machine. As you look at the RaceSpotTV live replay, and then we're going to see that number 35 machine on the bottom. It's going to make contact with that 33 machine, and it just sends him around. Or I'm sorry, that 313 machine. See the 35 again. You're riding on board with Dan Smulders, tries to get every single bit he can on that inside wall, and then he just makes contact with that 313 machine, and it just sends him around.
I think based on the way you've seen the left front go up, I want to see this from above as well. I think he also hit one of the yellow tires. Let's take a look at the angle. You see it going 3 wide, him wheeling down the wheel on the bottom, gets very close to the bump, then hits the left front on those tires right at the pit entry. Then Wyans gets involved. The 11 machine right on behind him, Connor Parise, also gets involved. So he's going to go and get some quick repairs, I believe. But we got a couple laps for the pace laps. Now that you've seen that, do you go conservative or do you go aggressive in terms of strategy?
Got to go aggressive. First, I'd like to say sorry to the 313 machine of Greg Thompson for calling him out there. That was nothing of his doing, but unfortunate circumstance for that 07 of Riley Wyans. We were talking about him earlier before this A main started. But after seeing that right there, I'd be kind of conservative going out there, just really holding my line, holding my own, to make sure I don't get into any more trouble. Because, like I said before, you gotta have a clean race car to make it up there towards the front. But then you gotta also choose and know when it's time to go.
Yeah, right now you still have about 55 laps to go when we get back underway here for the American Dirt Series late models here. As you see right now, Bergeron on the front row still as the control car. Zach Lee and Hardy will lead them on the outside line in the CSR machine. As he'll try and keep it going. He had almost got the lead before the caution flag came out. Cody Olsen will follow them right on back behind. Bergeron, though, gets a great restart as he is going to get a good restart on the bottom side. Lee and Hardy's going to try and make the outside of 1 and 2 work. You see that battling now in the Hornet's Nest already. 3 wide, a very close action. Very close bumping and baiting. A bit of a sandwich as you see in the back right now for Greg Thompson as he is to back off. Wyans almost gets his nose cut off as he is to back off. And now Greg Thompson gets bumped. And that is Smulders who bumps him around. So a few very close calls in the Hornet's Nest right now as the battle for third is on. Meanwhile, up front with Tyler Ducharme and Cody Olsen. Tyler Ducharme trying to make the bottom still work, but the outside has been working for a lot of drivers on the outside, not for Olsen. He is going to have to hold on the cushion here through 3 and 4. It is about even for momentum on the exit as Ducharme is going to keep this attack up.
Ducharme's using that Sim Racing Authority super late model machine, getting every single bit of traction he can on that bottom side. Hasn't chosen to go up, getting right next to that inside wall, trying everything he can. He's going to lose some momentum to the number 5 of Cody Olsen. Now he's using that high side. See if that high side has any momentum as he's going down the backstretch.
And speaking of battles, we got a battle for the lead. Bergeron trying to use the cushion. He's going to lose speed on the cushion. As you've seen him get caught right at the top of the shelf on turn number 4. He's fallen to second. The points leader, Zach Lee and Hardy, has taken the lead. 50 laps to go, coming up 49.
Look at Alex Bergeron, that number 12 machine, right up next to that rear bumper of the number 24 of Zach Lee and Hardy, trying everything he can. He's about 2 or so car lengths back, using that top side, just really making that thing dig into the corner, trying everything he can to get up, back up to the lead, but the 24 has his number right now.
Has his number and is getting great exits out of turn number 4 on the bottom side. Everyone has moved their waist, taking their notes up to the cushion for turns 1 and 2, up at the front. Right now, your top 5, Leon Hardy, Alex Bergeron, Cody Olsen holding on to 3rd. Tyler Ducharme is backed off in 4th. And right now, Terry Rennert, he's going to have a battle now for 5th. Corey Heim going for the battle. He's getting a great exit on turn number 2. He went straight off for the exit as he is going to slide down on the bottom. He bounces off the wall, though, on the left front. That's going to hold up its momentum. Terry Rennert's going to go back to single file and hold on the cushion through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that number 78 of Corey Heim trying to do every single thing he can, but right now that 02 of Terry Rennert's really making that middle lane work of the track. I haven't seen the middle lane used a lot, but now we're really starting to see it come into play as you look through the field. These drivers are mostly single file. We got one car in the inside wall.
Yeah, I believe that was Smolders again that got held up, lost a bunch of time, but right now we stay green. 44 laps to go. Smolders trying to recover from one of his first incidents. He's going to try and move his way into 11th spot. He is in a battle side by side, trying to catch up towards side by side, I should say, with Connor Parise right now and the rest of the field. Though it is Riley Wyans, though, getting involved in trouble with Scott Bellum right out the back.
Unfortunate break for him. Now we're going to go back to the middle of the field, starting with that number 94 machine of Todd LeBoob. He's got a Hornet's Nest right behind him. You're seeing that 313 machine of Greg Thompson trying to look high, trying to see if he can get enough momentum to pull off that slide job. Don't think he's going to have enough. Just look at that number 94 of Todd LeBoob, really using that cushion. Just actually not going to gain him any momentum or any speed, as that 313 is right on the low side.
Yeah, and Scott Bellum, meanwhile, has pulled off the racetrack. That's one thing to know. So one driver in this A main is done for the night. Meanwhile, though, you're seeing the battles across the field. Greg Thompson, he's still trying to make the bottom work with LeBeau. Right now, you see him going side by side down the front stretch and digging in very deep on the bottom side in his blue machine. Getting a great exit on turn number 2. They are still side by side. Todd LeBeau, he's going all the way to the cushion, just about gets caught up on the shelf out of turn number 4, but he still doesn't lose enough momentum. Right now, Thompson still making the bottom work. One of the few drivers still sticking to that line. LeBeau, he's going to slide up even higher alongside the cushion, and he is still going to perfectly hit that cushion. They're still side by side. This battle could go on for a bit. Thompson, though, says, I'm going to give you the slide job as they go for the cross. LeBeau moves to the bottom side this time. Thompson's going to have to move to the high side alongside the cushion. And it works. Thompson moves himself up a spot into 8th.
You see Todd LeBeau out there. Yeah, he lost a position over there to the 313 of Greg Thompson. Greg Thompson was able to utilize that slide job, but now we're going to go back up through the field. Going to start out with the number 02 of Terry Renner. He's trying to hold off that number 78 machine, of Corey Heim. He's doing every single thing he can. The 78 starts to look low, can't quite get the momentum to get side by side. He's faster into the entry of the corner, but he's losing a lot of momentum on the exit. And if you're wondering why we're not talking about the guys up front, this is the best battle we've got out here tonight. The 02 of Terry Renner makes a tiny little bit of mistake, but he's able to control that car as he's going down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. And then again, that 78 still looking low. Is he going to be able to? No, he's not going to be able to get right beside him again. He's going to try one more time using that low line, getting that left front wheel right against that wall.
Yeah, you can see there, it just isn't carrying enough momentum on the exit. But he's got some luck. Renner, I believe, bounced off the outside wall trying to ride along the cushion, but just couldn't take advantage for enough momentum again for that corner exit. He's going to try and make it work this time on the bottom. This time again, it's still single file. He just is struggling to get that exit speed with it starting to slicken up on that bottom groove. It's now to where it's getting to where it could potentially be a single file racetrack as him and Renner now go back to single file. For those asking what's going on at the front, right now Zach Leon Hardy is currently still leading the race. He is trying to hold on to Alex Bergeron. The time has been growing and growing for Leon Hardy Motorsports over the Victory Lane Racing Machine of Bergeron. 1.3 seconds is the gap last time by the start and finish line. Cody Olsen, he's trying to hold on to 3rd spot. He's got a sizable gap right now on Tyler Ducharme. who is in his first race. The New Englander trying to hold on to a strong top 5 finish. Right now, Terry Rennert, he's settled down a little bit, but he's still got something to worry about with Corey Heim right now for that battle for 5th. In fact, he gets a bad exit out of turn number 4. And this is the battle everyone's been waiting for. Corey Heim able to make it work for 5th, but there's the crossover again for Terry Rennert. He's going to go back to the bottom as they go side by side. Can he make the exit work? They're still side by side, but right now Heim has that advantage of the line. Riding way too high, though, is Heim on the cushion. And still, though, the momentum again and again on the exit is just not enough. As Heim, he's going to lose the spot, I think, again right now to Rennert because of that bad exit and bad entry in apex down alongside the cushion through 3 and 4. In fact, that's exactly what's going to happen as Rennert makes the pass. Right on behind him, though, is Philip Neese, making things interesting in 7th with Craig Thompson in 8th.
Yeah, they better be careful because they're battling side by side. They're letting that number 42 machine of Philip Neese get right up behind them, along with that 313 of Greg Thompson. And we've got a caution out right now.
And it's going to be Todd LeBeau going around, and he's has the 11 machine around with him as well. That 11 machine, of course, is Connor Parise. We're going to see a RaceSpotTV replay. As LeBeau was the one in the front, Parise was the one in the back that time, getting some help around, as Smolders was there too, giving some extra help to Parise.
Yeah, he did, as you're watching it right here against that number 11 machine, getting right to the high side of the 94. You see the 94 going into the corner. We're going to go slow-mo right here. Just looked like the 94 just was really digging into that corner. I don't know if the 11 helped him spin or if he was already going to go around and just that 94 checked up too much and that 11 had nowhere to go. But nonetheless, tough break for those two drivers. But hey, we're going to get a restart. We're going to stack these drivers back up. And I was noticing something there before. The Alex Bergeron and the leader is Zachary and Hardy caught lap traffic. Alex Bergeron was gaining about a 10th a lap on the leaders, so maybe Alex Bergeron's car is really coming into play. His setups maybe really set up for that long run. So on this restart, I think we're really going to see a battle for the lead, and it's going to give some of these drivers, like the number 5 of Cody Olson and the number 25 of Tyler Ducharme, a chance to really make it work and see if they can get up there and take this checkered flag.
Yeah, especially with 23 laps to go. They're going to have 22 laps to go when they restart. So this has been a whirlwind of a race so far, that is for sure. If you look at the lap times, Leon Hardy and Bergeron very close to their fastest lap times. As you said, gaining a 10th a lap was Bergeron just about. As they right now are the only two drivers to lead right now. It's going to come down, though, I think, to who has the best restart. Leon Hardy is the control car this time, with Bergeron on the outside. Right behind them, it's going to be Olson and Ducharme, but it's going to be Leon Hardy with a great jump. He's going to end up pulling away a little bit as the Hornet's Nest is in full aliveness right behind third on back. Bergeron, he's going to go to single file. Ducharme was able to make the pass on the good restart for third spot. As Leon Hardy, he's going to lead this time by 21 laps to go with Bergeron and Ducharme right on his doorstep, with Olson waiting to also join them.
Tyler Ducharme, that number 25, is a driver to be reckoned with here tonight. You see that number 5 machine of Cody Olson getting as much momentum as he can on that low side, not able to hang on to it on the exit. And look at that number 12 machine of Alex Bergeron. He's really gaining some momentum on the leader of Zachary and Hardy. Is he going to be able to pull it off and get side by side and battle him? I think he will be before this race is over. And if he does, that number 25 of Tyler Ducharme is going to be in perfect position to really capitalize on it and make things work and grab that lead. And right now, we're going to have a battle for 4th place of Cody Olson and Corey Heim. As you see him right now battling, seeing the number 5 machine of Cody Olson using that high side, then that number 78 is using that low side, but he's going to have company with that 313 of Greg Thompson. They're almost 3 wide coming in the exit of the corner.
Almost 3 wide, having to back off right there. The 78 machine of Corey Heim. As right below him, though, with Corey Olson having a bad exit alongside the shelf, it's going to be Greg Thompson taking advantage. This is a battle for 4th spot now. As Thompson, he's going to have a great backstretch run, digs it in as much as he can for the slide job. There's the crossover from Heim. He's going to zoom right on by, and it's going to be Heim in 4th now. Olsen dropping all the way to 7th because of one mistake, meanwhile, behind these guys.
What a move there by the 78. He was able to really capitalize on those drivers battling. They were 3 wide at one point. He just zoomed by them like they were nothing. This driver's something to be reckoned with. I think we're about to have a battle for the lead with the number 24, Zachary Hardy, 12 of Alex Bergeron, and the 25 of Tyler Ducharme. They were almost 3 wide in the entry of that corner right there. You see the 12 of Alex Bergeron. He's really using that low side and trying to make it work. The number 25, Tyler Ducharme, loses a lot of momentum in that last corner. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it up. We're going to have to stay tuned and watch to find out, but there's about a car length between the number 24 and the number 12. I don't know, Alex Bergeron's really gonna have to kick it into high gear if he wants to win this thing tonight.
Yeah, that time he gained a 10th in turns 1 and 2 as they come towards 12 laps to go. Bergeron trying to go as deep as he can, using the wall as a support brace, but it's gonna lose him a bunch of time, about another 10th. He is going to fall to half a second back because he turned in slightly too much on the entry for 3 and 4. This time, he's going to try and avoid that wall, going a bit higher up on the exit as he is still half a second back. Half a second back behind them right now is Tyler Ducharme. But Leon Hardy, he moves himself towards the cushion for 1 and 2 in the last time by. Leon Hardy's going to go right for the same line as Bergeron. It is currently a 4/10 of a second lead with about 10 laps to go here at Volusia.
See Zachary and Hardy and that number 24 machine using that high line just a little now. He's going to use that middle line in 1 and 2, about half a lane up from the bottom. The number 12, Alex Bergeron, getting every single thing he can on that bottom line. I'm not sure if that bottom line is where I'd want to go. You see all the drivers making it here. If they can really start to get that cushion work, he can make a pass for the lead, but he's just trying everything he can. I don't know if these drivers are just too scared to try that high side because they don't want to lose all the momentum and have to gain it all back or what, but I'm saying that 12 of Alex Bergeron, he is coming in a hurry. He's about a car length and a half behind the 24 of Zachary and Hardy.
You're looking at some of the battles in the back, and we might have a caution very closely. Cody Olsen went sideways, and yes, we do. Brandon Peterson also involved in that one. And Olsen's bad luck on this run just got capped off right here, Davis.
It did, as we're going to take a look at the replay right here. It's that number 83 machine. At number 83 machine of Brandon Peterson just gets into the rear end of Cody Olsen and that number 5, and whoa, I'm not really sure what the 83 machine was thinking right there. I just think he just drove it in too high, didn't expect the 5 to check up as much, and just nowhere to go. And unfortunate break there for the 5 of Cody Olsen, and really hate to see that because he didn't have a race winning car, but he had a really fast car and he had a chance to get a top 5 tonight.
Yeah, that car just absolutely dropped off. I believe as well, if we can get this replay, this would be around lap 55-ish, where he was in a close battle for 7th. That really kept up that damage that was starting to build up. I think was that tipping point to where you seen that caution. It was a door slam, I think, to the right side of Terry Renner. This was going on as the leaders were starting to battle for position up at the front. So this is something where the damage, I think, just built it up over time. He is done for the day. He's going to join as well Riley Wyans and Scott Bellum in the garage area as they get ready for the restart. It's going to come down to this, though. It's going to be about 4 laps to go with this restart. Leon Hardy and Bergeron up at the front. Right now, they are going to get all set to go. This is going to be an absolutely intense battle for the victory here at Volusia for the American Dirt Series. Pace truck is off. Green flag is out. And we are back underway. Leon Hardy gets the good restart. Right now, Ducharme trying to go for the attack. Bergeron, he's going to keep it single file. Right up behind them is Corey Heim as he is going to go for the battle. He is trying to poke his nose right underneath of Ducharme, has to back off. But right now, that helps open up the door for Bergeron and Leon Hardy for the win. 3 laps to go here in the American Dirt Series late models. Leon Hardy right now trying to keep that spot. He shifts around a little bit. Bergeron, meanwhile, he's going to dig his way in. He's just 2/10 back right now. Gets a good run. And can he keep up the good run? It's going to come down to a perfect slide job. 1 lap to go, this time by. It's going to be down to the points leader and the super kid and Alex Bergeron. Here we go. Leon Hardy. Great exit. Pulls away from Bergeron. Bergeron's going to have to dig in deep. He's going to go way up the racetrack. Hits the wall. Almost gets caught on the shelf. He still finishes second, but for the points leader, it is going to be Zach Leon Hardy coming away with a victory tonight in the American Dirt Series Late Models.
And Zach Leon Hardy, that number 12 machine takes home, or I'm sorry, the number 24 machine takes home the victory tonight here at Volusia. And most importantly, he is the unlucky bad streak of broadcaster's curse. That's right, I picked him for the win, and he pulled that thing off here tonight.
Absolutely pulled it off. In fact, he's still racing on the track. Somebody better tell him the race is over, as he is zooming around the racetrack like there's still 17 to go or something. Congratulations though to Leon Hardy coming away with a victory over Alex Bergeron in this one tonight. As I think he's going to stop eventually. Yes, I think he's finally stopped on the shelf at turn number 4, as he finally realized, I won. And he's definitely happy for sure with the fireworks still going off in the backdrop right here. As right now, we'll take a quick commercial break and get you your interviews and the final results just after this. Here, pardon me. As Leon Hardy, Alex Bergeron, Tyler Ducharme, Corey Heim, pardon me, behind him with Greg Thompson, rounding out the top 5. Philip Neese, Dan Smulders, Terry Rennert, Connor Parise, and Brandon Peterson rounded out your top 10 tonight here for the American Dirt Series Late Models. Todd LeBeau and Cody Olson, they had some bad luck indeed. It built up to where they both finished off the lead lap. Scott Bellum and Riley Wyans round out the field. The rest of the field you see there, very crucial parts of making the American Dirt Series function the way it does. But of course, now it's time for a commercial break now here on RaceSpotTV. You've been watching the American Dirt Series Late Models. Stick around because we have your top 3 and many more for your post-race interviews live from Volusia Speedway Park.
Crazy control. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the American Dirt Series Late Models. After what was an exciting race and racing action, that's for sure. Your unofficial rated results, top 10 is now on your screen with Zach Leon Hardy coming out on top over Alex Bergeron. the newcomer Tyler Ducharme ran his way onto a podium finish, while Corey Heim finished off in 4th. Greg Thompson, Philip Neese, Dan Smulders, Terry Renner, Connor Parise, and Brandon Peterson all having strong runs for the top 10. Once again, I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me is Davis Richards. Hugo Weiss has been helping us for the entire broadcast. We'd like to thank him for joining us with this. But right now, it's time for your post-race interviews, as everyone's all set for the confetti and the champagne, as we will go to your race winner and current point leader to start things off in Zach Leonhardi. Zach, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Welcome to the RaceSpotTV booth, and congratulations on the victory. What are your thoughts on after battling much of the race with Alex Bergeron right up to the checkered flag?
Well, I'm pretty excited to finally knock one of these off. Finished second every week so far, so that was 1 and 2. I mean, it was really good racing with Alex there, and I'm really liking this. A new update for my race, and the cars drive a whole lot more realistic, and especially in the slick. It rewards, driving really, really smooth around this place. So I was pretty excited for that, and I think the racetrack was awesome. You could race all over it, and fun race.
Yeah, it looked like a fun race and was a fun race to call indeed. I want to ask this as well because, well, of course, as mentioned, it was the close battles with you and Alex Bergeron. What, in your opinion, was the one thing that really was the flick of the switch to get by Bergeron, to get yourself to pull away for the victory over him tonight?
Well, I knew early on that I wouldn't have been too good because I only got the test for 20 minutes. I was having computer problems, so I only got a test for about 20 minutes and just built a setup for slick real quick. So I knew I was going to put myself in a hole before that dash, and I got to seeing where Alex is messing up and where I was a little bit better than him, and vice versa in that dash. And I realized in the beginning of the race I was a little bit smoother than him, so I was able to get onto that bottom better off of 4. So I was just, I figured I needed to get there when I could. So whenever I'd see him kind of slip up out of 3, I think it was out of 2 actually, he drew off in there, kind of got a little bit too sideways, and I just pulled up next to him and got that really good exit out of 4 and drove by him, and then I just kept it as smooth as I could to drive away.
Yeah, that is for sure right now. You did drive away indeed in what was still close battles up to the end. But let me ask this as well. Now, right now, what are your thoughts, of course, as the points leader, mind you, heading into the final weeks of the season before we go to Lima Land next week, where it will be 100 laps?
I'm actually pretty excited for it. I've run a few 100-lap Lima and hosted races and stuff, and I've already got a pretty decent setup for that place. I don't know if we're going to be back on a fixed setup next week or not, but I think it's going to be a great race, and 100 laps is definitely really good around there, and I ain't going to do nothing different. I'm not going to go out there and try to conserve or anything. I'm going to go out for the win. I feel pretty good about it right now. I think, obviously, I've been the most consistent. I haven't been outside the top 2 the whole deal, so I'm just going to try to not go out there and do something way too stupid or nothing, and just see where Greg's at the whole deal. I think he's the only guy that can really contend with me, so I just got to keep an eye on him and what I can do. I'm feeling pretty confident going into it.
Is there anyone else you'd like to thank or anything you want to say before we let you go and keep on celebrating?
I'll just give a plug to my iRacing paint deal. I do Leonhardi Race Designs. You can PM me or send me an email at zachleo24@gmail.com and get a paint scheme out for you.
Thank you very much for the time, and congratulations on the victory, Zach.
Thank you.
That was Zach Leonhardi coming away with the victory tonight. As you heard, coming away in second a few different times this season, finally comes away as the bride instead of the bridesmaid. Now, Davis, I believe you have your guy, who finished off in second, Alex Bergeron.
Hey, Alex Bergeron. I know you didn't never get tired of talking to us up here because it sure seems like we're talking to you every single night. Awesome running that second place in you, battling with that number 24 machine of Zach Leonhardi. You just weren't able to catch him. Just take us through those full 65 laps of racing there. You think you could have done anything different to catch him, or did that number 24 machine pretty much have that wrapped up?
We struggled with the car tonight and set up. We didn't have a lot of time, to build one, but at the end I was catching him a little bit at the end, but he did a good drive. He's pretty good, so congrats to him for the win tonight. was a great drive. But you know, like I said, we struggled a bit with the setup. You know, with the car to start to run, and car was a bit too sideways on entry, and you know, he passed me. So I mean, I'd say I would just follow him, and then you know, I stayed in my groove and trying different lines and trying to see if the cushion up there was working, but seems like going to slick and maybe the bottom was a better line. So that was great racing overall. I mean, the track was awesome, to be fair, and you know, I can't wait for next week. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and we were watching on that longer run. I think we got a really long run there. You might have been able to catch them because you were gaining about a tenth of a lap or so on that number 24 machine. But I love how you brought up that top side and that cushion with the new build out today, or I'm sorry, I should say Tuesday on iRacing. Uh, was there just not enough speed on that top side and the cushion? Do you think the cushion, if we would have had any more drivers, that cushion would have come more into play and you'd have been able to utilize it more to your advantage?
I don't know, maybe with more cars on the track, I don't know if that would have changed something, but it's a flat surface too, so maybe the cushion just doesn't really work, you know, even in real life maybe, you know. But you know, I'd say, you know, the cushion is pretty good for tracks like Charlotte and Lima Lynn and these tracks, but you know, I think overall Volusia, like the past couple like the last couple of weeks in the late models here on iRacing was pretty much running like middle of the slick and trying to find where the grip is and everything. So, but overall, like I said, it's pretty awesome track.
Great insight you're giving us there. And like I said, Lima Land is coming up next week. 100 laps, $25 to win. I will definitely be watching you out there. Before I let you go, you got anyone out there you want to thank?
Yeah, all my sponsors, their collective, the Drill Spill, their car racing, Mer Inc., Tellerico Signs and Designs, and you guys for broadcasting, Team VLR for the team, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right, well, you heard it there, folks. Alex Bergeron coming away with a second place finish.
Yeah, we definitely heard, and a lot of good comments from Alex Bergeron coming away with the second place finish tonight. Coming away with the third place finish, meanwhile, was Tyler Ducharme. Tyler, how are you feeling after coming away with a top 3 finish in your first race of the season?
I'm happy about it. You know, I didn't really expect much. I figured we were gonna slaughter around in the back, and it turned out that the car was actually pretty good. I mean, it was a tick loose, but we drove through it, and I wish I tightened it up a little bit more before the feature because I think I could have got out there and raced with them guys. But you know, third place isn't bad. Good testing tune tonight for you know, the upcoming weeks here in the Pro Series. So you know, I'm happy.
Now, talk us through how things were with the track, because you were basically at that very edge of where the Hornet's Nest was right behind you, and you, of course, were battling up for that lead for much of the way. Tell us what was going through your mind as you were contending just about for the victory for a majority of the race.
You know, I wanted to go up and test the top, but I just in that trophy dash, I didn't really feel like there was much out there. I got in the shelf, and there wasn't really much out there to lean on, and I said, you know, screw it, I'm gonna go back to my roots and just stick right to the bottom, and it seemed to work pretty good there. And once I figured out how to roll the bottom, you know, I got back up to them guys, and I couldn't get to them. I wanted to go back up there and try it, but you know, my gut said stay on the bottom right here and see what it brings. And you know, I mean, we salvaged third out of it, so not too bad.
Not too bad indeed. Now, of course, this was your first race here for the season tonight. What do you plan to take from your experience tonight? Of course, from not just, as you mentioned, for other series and our races in the upcoming weeks, but as well for Lima Land, where there's going to be 100 laps of racing.
It'll be interesting to see how the track develops. I've done some races there during the week, and it's been multiple groove, top, middle, bottom, and it'll be fun to see how the setups work there. Hopefully, we got a good baseline from tonight that we can use at Lima Land, and it should be fun to see how the race turns out.
Is there anyone else anything you want to say, or anyone you want to thank before we let you get going?
I gotta give a shout out to Sim Racing Authority for coming on board and supporting us. Donnelly Construction, Mangino Chevrolet, Buick GMC, and Riley for all the setup help this week. He's got me dialed up, and you guys for doing the broadcast.
Thank you very much for the time, Tyler. Congratulations on the top 3 finish.
Yep.
That was Tyler Ducharme coming away with the top 3 finish today. The New Englander having a good run, that's for sure. Davis has one more person for our interviews tonight. Davis?
And we've got our hard charger of the night. And Corey, I got to ask you, is it Heim or is it him?
Heim.
Heim. Okay, I knew it.
Yeah,
All right,
I get
just
that.
get that one out of the way. All right, just had to get that one out of the way there. But awesome run out there. Coming away in 4th place and also picking up that hard charger. Watch you come through the field, coming up from 12th place. Man, how'd you do it?
Most of this new build and pretty much dirt in general is kind of a learning curve for me. I mean, I don't run too much dirt, but I'm friends with Zach, so I occasionally run dirt with him, and he suggested this league, and I signed up, and this is my first race, obviously, and I'm not too good at throttle control. I tried to learn from Zach and the people in front of me. For the longest time, I was in 6th, and the guy in front of me was way better through the center, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get off the corners, and I finally kind of got that down, got by 2 people, and pretty much held my own on the restart. I think I was a 4th place car all day, just really hard to pass, but I'm not complaining. It was a ton of fun, and I'm glad you guys came out and hosted a great session.
Well, we were talking about that too, of making it through that hornet's nest. And at the start of the race, were you just being really conservative, or did you just have the mindset of, hey, I'm going to go for it, I got to get to the front as quick as I can?
I kind of had a pretty mediocre mindset in that stance. There's like a 12 incident limit. I didn't know how aggressive the field was going to be, so I kind of balanced out where I was and just was trying to feel out everybody, see what they had. I knew in the B main I was pretty much even with the 1st place car, and I don't know what happened to him. I'm not sure where he ended up, but yeah, I was just pretty much feeling everyone out and trying to see what I had, and from there I made some moves and ended up 4th.
Well, good run nonetheless. And one last question we've been asking every driver out there that's came into the booth. That cushion, Alex Bergeron mentioned it and said, this really wasn't the track for that cushion to really come into play. Were you able to utilize that high side, or were you mostly running on that lower side? And if you could have redone it, would you start to use that high side a little more? Or do you think it's really going to come into play when we get to a track like Lima Land next week?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The new cushion thing they implemented is definitely going to be a factor in Lima Land and Charlotte. This track not so much, just because you don't ever want to run the very high side, much less banked in the bottom. Near the end of the race, everyone was kind of going towards the middle, because if you got too high where the slick was, like there was any traction, there's no banking up there, so you can't exactly run up there. And everyone was going through the middle. Some people were going to the bottom. And it was so slick at the end of the race. Every time you try to get under someone, or at least me, I'd slide the right rear. But yeah, for sure, the cushion's going to come into play, but not on this track, though.
Well, before we let you go, you got anyone out there you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Zach for the setup, and that's about it.
All right, well, sounds good. Well, you just listened to the number 78 of Corey Heim coming away with a 4th place finish and coming away with that hard charger award for the night.
Yeah, a lot of good words from Corey Heim for tonight. Coming away with a 4th place finish, that's for sure. And a strong run here for the American Dirt Series late models presented by CMF Motors Electriques. And before we get going, Davis, what are your final thoughts on what we should expect for next week? Because fans, it's going to be at Lima Land for 1. For 2, it's going to be 100 laps. And for 3, there's going to be $25 on the line for whoever comes out on top. What should we expect next week?
Well, if you think you got what it takes to run with these boys, come on out and they'll put you in your place, that's for sure, because there's a lot of fast drivers out there, and especially with $25 on the line, they're going to be running and gunning, and going to see some close-quartered racing. And hey, that cushion, like we've talked with the other drivers, is really going to come into play. This might be our first chance to really see how it works, how it plays out, and what these drivers do. But of course, like you were saying, got to thank our sponsors, CMF Motors Electrics, Dirt Co Media House, Down Under Graphic, Kings of Dirt, Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Shiloh Forestry, and Beat Earth 1934. But I'm really excited for next week at Lanaland.
I'm excited too. Thank you very much for tuning in for tonight's broadcast here on RaceSpotTV. For Davis Richards and Hugo Ruiz, I'm Justin Prince, saying so long from Barberville, Florida, and enjoy the rest of your week. Be sure to tune in next time the American Dirt Series comes to the track next Monday night for the sprint cars. It's going to be a wild weekend, that's for sure, and a wild week next week. So stick around when that comes around here on RaceSpotTV and stay clean across this muddy racetrack.